is a camera dealer coming to a watch brand like us and ask to selling our watches? I think it fits perfectly, but it was really surprising.
Well, it is kind of interesting. You know, we specialize in these photography tools, and you know, just like anything else, once you find something that you love and you're passionate about, you always want to do better and have a better result. And you know, sometimes the tools used to do that, if you have better tools, it kind of eliminates some weak links and helps you get a better image. And then there's other times where some people just have an innate talent and they can just really get it every single time. But for most of us who aren't just ridiculously innately talented, we're going to go to the nicer tools. And then we sell lots of the Leica cameras, which are made in Germany, and they're all handcrafted.
I think one of the most exclusive camera brands existing now.
I think so. I mean, they've been around for over 100 years. They're M series cameras, which are almost like jewelry in themselves. You know, it takes a whole day for someone to just assemble one. And all the parts are handmade, and it's an incredible piece of craftsmanship. So, someone who is going to appreciate a tool like this also appreciates a lot of other fine tools. So the same, you know, we have our customers come in and they like to look at the new Leicas and they look at the vintage Leicas and they enjoy the history of the brand. And when they come in, it's always interesting to see they always have a nice watch. So after we've maybe exhausted all of our comments on photography and we've made some decisions to do whatever we're going to do, and there's time, the conversation a lot of times will shift over to, oh, what are you wearing today? Or the customer will say, well, what am I wearing today? And then we talk about the watches for a little bit. But it's the same person that has that shared enjoyment. And we started Camera West in 2000, and we've been talking watches on the side since the very beginning. And sometimes a customer will come in and they want a certain camera piece, maybe a Leica lens, and it's not quite in their budget, but they've got some watches they want to sell. Oh, you've got watches you want to sell. What kind of watch do you have? And well, I've got so-and-so. I'd like to see that. And the next thing you know, we're taking the watch in on trade for the camera, and that's kind of always been a little bit of a sideline for us. And it's gotten to the point now where it's less uncommon to do that. So, and we've always had a passion for watches, just like our customers. So it's kind of been just a natural progression of just being in the industry and being around other people that are like-minded that just like nice things. So that's kind of how that got started. But you know, we've done different secondhand watches for a number of years, and then. You know, I always go back to my Fortis Watches to wear, and we thought, well, we should probably bring some new lines in. So, you know, one of the first that we picked up was Fortis.
Cool.
We had that meeting. I saw something that was really different in the marketplace with the Stratoliner, and I just really got excited about it.
It's a completely new watch. Nobody did before.
There's nothing like it. There's just nothing like it. And I really like the white on white dial, the white Stardust dial.
Me too.
So it's really cool.
Perfect.
But that's how that all got started. And we just wound up. We came out for a Leica conference, for a historical conference. And you know, that's a nice thing, is that Fortis has such a long history behind it, as does Leica. So we had the Leica Historical Society, which is now called Leica Society International. So we get to meet with a bunch of friends and talk about our Leicas, and everyone there has got nice watches on. So we talk about the watches too. And
this is how we men are. We're talking glasses, watches, and cameras.
Yeah, it's great. It's all great fun. But that's how it got started.
So, as I see, you know Fortis from a long time, huh? When have you heard the first time about Fortis?
Probably in the mid 1990s.
Okay.
I had a client come in with a Fortis watch, and I saw it on his wrist, and I was like, "What's that? Where'd you get that?" You know, and he was telling me about the brand and showing me what he had, and so I started looking more into it and admiring it, and then I think I think my first Fortis purchase was in 2000.
2000, and what kind of model was it?
Well, I actually bought
you
this watch.
Ah, perfect. The Flieger?
Yeah, the Flieger.
Yeah, nice.
We had just started Camera West in Monterey, and we were getting ready to go to on a buying and selling trip in Hong Kong, and I wanted a new watch to take with me. And I'd had a Hoyer Carrera at the time, and the crown kept falling off, and it was giving me some troubles. And I thought, well, I want something that's just super rugged, something that I can really see, that's really legible, something that, you know, Hong Kong in the summertime is really sticky and hot, and so I want something that's just going to be super durable, and that's what I ended up buying.
And we still use this really special color, huh? This green and orange. The orange is a little bit yellow now after
really
all these
faded.
years.
Yeah.
But this is really traditional color
Yeah.
for us. So green and orange, this fluorescence orange. We have to check with the UV light afterwards if it's still gluing.
I would be surprised.
Okay, cool.
But
nice.
I've worn that watch for years. It's been everywhere. It's done everything. It's a little banged up. I'm a little embarrassed by it, but you know, it's been a real tool watch for me.
Cool. Nice. And the second one you brought with you?
Well, I
It's a B42.
enjoyed my first one so much, I started looking for another one. And then that was the one that I settled on, because it was, it had the same characteristics of what I was looking for in the first Fortis. It was definitely the next model moving forward with the style. You can see that the form is still there, but the styles are a little bit different. It's a little bit more of an involvement. And I like the skeleton hands and the cream dial, so that's what I settled on that time. And I've had that watch maybe 20 years.
20
maybe
years,
15
yeah, should
I
be.
don't remember when I bought it, but
No, it's a B42 case. It was introduced in 2001, I think, with the first official Cosmonaut, with the second version of the official Cosmonauts. So there was the first version in the 90s, and it was worn on the space station Mir. And then they changed to ISS, and then they have also changed the model. So, and for this they developed the B42 case. And this is the pilot version from the B42. So it has to be around about 2001.
yeah.
Perfect. So if you talk about old Cosmonaut watches, I brought something really special for you, which I really not show to everybody.
I saw that on the table, and I'm getting goosebumps as you're picking it up, actually. So it's
Yeah.
really crazy.
You know, I bought the company in 2018, and there was I think there was a big mess in the stock. So
Yeah.
the whole storage was totally chaos. So we start working with the stock, and I opened the safe, and then I found 40 watches, 40 original Cosmonauts from the 90s, with also certification from this time. So that's the. There was 40 different official Cosmonauts. Sometimes they change just the dial, sometimes they have different movements inside, and they've been the original watches have been tested by Roscosmos in 1994. So they took all these watches up to space, and then they came back and told, okay, we want to have this model. I do not know if this was the end version. I just brought one with me because they do not look good anymore, because they have really been used. But this is the official certification from the test series by Roscosmos. So it's the official certification that the Fortis watches are space proven.
This is really awesome.
Stamped by the Roscosmos General.
The watch is beautiful. I own
it's a beautiful piece, huh?
I owned a similar watch to this, probably also in the 2000s, that I sold or traded to a friend, or who can remember sometimes, but I don't have it. And this reminds me of that watch, but this is.
It's a masterpiece.
So much cooler.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it should be a Lemania movement inside, so how it looks like. They have already used this fluorescence orange, what we still use on the Flieger series. So this orange was always one of the first things I fall in love is Fortis. I bought my first Fortis in 2004, and it was this orange second hand on the official Cosmonaut.
Yeah.
Watch I fall in love, and I said I have to buy this watch. This was just this small hand.
Well, it's so legible. It really stands out, and yeah, this watch is really just amazing.
Yeah, it's quite cool, huh?
Yeah, that's awesome. So have you ever put a strap on it and put it on your wrist?
I do not touch them normally. I just have them in the safe and bring them when some special guests are coming.
I better
so
put it down.
if anybody is coming to Switzerland and visit Fortis, maybe you have the chance with me to have a look on these watches.
That's just incredible.
Yeah.
Almost speechless, but it's just. Well, I bet you were really surprised when you opened the safe and saw all that stuff in there.
Yeah, that was quite interesting because I also found gold watches. I don't know if they know that they're stored there, but there was also, I think, 18K gold watches inside.
Wow. Wow. Well, that was a treasure hunt.
Yeah, it is.
Good one.
You find a lot of things. If you start Fortis, you go in this. It's an old building. It's from 1912. So there's so many things inside nobody knows. And when you start opening all these small doors, you find a lot of things. Yeah, it's history. It's you feel the watch history when you are in the building of Fortis. It's from 1912. The first automatic wristwatch has been produced here in 1926, and there was so many history inside. So you feel it, you see it, and you feel it, and this is what I love at this building.
I bet. Yeah. I'm excited to come visit.
Yeah,
soon.
You have to. You have to
Soon.
come.
I have to come in and feel the history.
You have to come, of course.
I love it.
Cool. So.
Let's talk about some of your new creations.
Yeah, so let's talk about the future.
Yeah.
So, you know this model already.
I do. I'm wearing it actually on my wrist today.
Yeah, perfect. It looks awesome. This is what I already told you. So this was how we designed the watch in the first step. This was this kind of NATO strap, but it was not possible to find a partner to produce this strap in a version what we would like to have. So. But everything was just standard, and I wanted to have some extraordinary, and it was really hard. And then we decided, okay, let's do it on leather and on our block bracelet. Yeah. But the first idea was an auto strap. Maybe in the future there. So when you saw the first time the new Stratoliner, what was your first thing you thought about? What was your first impression?
You know, that's a really good question.
Because you did not know the story, you just saw the watch, yeah?
No, I first saw the watch at the Windup in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, where we met the first time.
Yeah,
huh?
not that long ago, and I knew that Fortis was going to be there, so I was excited to come and check out. I was like, okay, cool. I want to see what's going on with Fortis.
And I think this was 2 weeks before we launched this watch. So this the Windup Watch Fair was. We showed the watches to the people, but there was no photos allowed. Right. So it was just, okay, show them and then put it back.
Yeah, I wanted to take a picture of it so I could go home and look at it some more. But, you know, I think what struck me is that the first thing is that you see the DNA of Fortis come through in the line, but it's so different.
Yeah.
So you've got that dichotomy really of the traditional Fortis, the rugged tool watch, the really bold design on the case, which is very different from anything else that's on the market. Yeah. The really super clean lines, that was really attractive. And then the faces of these watches, they've got the dimension to them. If you get the light raking across them, they've got so much texture that really shines. You don't see that every day, but when you see it, you go, oh, that's
yeah, you
really
see
great.
the details sometimes only. And that's what for me the watches are getting boring if you see everything in the first impression and then you have seen it. Right. So after 10 years you will not like this watch anymore. You have to find new things every day and every day.
Well, there's a lot of levels in that watch, and it really caught my eye, and I thought, oh, I have to have one of these. So, I mean, I think within just a few minutes of visiting the booth, I had that feeling back where, okay, this is really good.
Yeah, because for me, that's the future of space. You know, we did now for 30 years space watches for professional astronauts.
Yeah.
But now there's coming a new generation of space tourists and space travelers. And that's why we started this Stratoliner collection, because it's just made for the guys going for 3 hours up there, coming home and have a beer at the bars. You know, it's a completely strange thing, but it will happen in the future.
Yeah, I think so too.
And for this, we created this kind of watch. So, and that's why we have this really future design, but also a little bit vintage. If you see the lugs, it has a little bit vintage touch, but it's still, the dial is, for me, it's just future.
Yeah.
And really reduced, nothing on, just measuring your time going to space and back, and nothing else.
It's such a clean design.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
And yeah, of course. You know all the specifications with 200-meter water resistant, new movement. You have seen the movie on our YouTube channel about Kiruna. Yeah. No, this was a quite nice trip there. I think we had minus 17 degrees out there, Celsius, so I do not know how much Fahrenheit is it. But it was really cold for 2 weeks, and we have to send it up the balloon, and boah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I see you also have the Marine Master here.
Yes, that's also one of the... It's quite funny that you brought the same watch with you.
I thought that was pretty funny as well.
I always have, if somebody asks me, okay, bring 2 watches with you to present Fortis, I always have the M44 in orange and the Stratoliner white dust. That's for me of course, Flieger is tradition, but this is what I wanted to show. Okay, there's a new face in Fortis. We know about our history, we do what we did the last 100 years, but we want to show where the future is going to. And the Marine Master, and I think we both love the orange, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Still, again, the orange.
Yep. It's traditional. It pulls the cues from the past of Fortis, and then brings it forward in a totally new watch. Yeah. I mean, that is really unlike anything that I've seen from Fortis in the past.
And there was a different idea behind. When we started creating the Marine Master, it was absolutely clear we are tool watches, and we're doing the best, most professional diving watch made anytime. So, but then we start talking, because before we create a watch, we start talking to the people. So if we create a pilot watch, we talk to the pilots. If you create a space watch, we talk to the astronauts, of course. And here, you start talking to the people wearing diving watches. And then you recognize, hey, there's nobody's going diving. So, does it make sense to do a high-end professional diving watch if the people only go in holiday? So we said, okay, no, it has a specification of a 100% professional diving watch, but it has to look like holiday. So you have to have this emotion.
Yeah.
Sitting at the pool or at the bar, having a beer, just feel free, but you can go hiking, you can go diving, you can go do auto sport, anything. So that is one of the most robust watches we made. It's always space technology inside, of course, and you can do anything with this watch, but at the end, you have to look at it and see, hey, free spare time.
Yeah.
No Wi-Fi.
Yes. Well, it's really beautiful, and it also has those design elements that you discover over time. Also, the face on that is textured, and the way the light hits it, when it rakes across, it creates patterns, and it has a lot of character. It's really,
it has.
It's really a beautiful.
We wanted
face.
to have this really special design, because I wanted to have, we have the Flieger with classic black dials. We have now the Stratoliner with a really new design, nobody did, but I want to have a playful dial pattern, something special, but something nobody can copy, because this is always a problem in the watch industry. You want to create some unique designs, some icons for the future, but everybody can copy it.
Yeah.
And that's why we did a really special pattern. So you know what it is.
Well, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's the O from the Fortis logo. So if you use some parts of your own logo, which is safe worldwide, nobody can copy it.
That's lovely.
So that was the first idea behind. Do something nobody is allowed to copy.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. And then we have, of course, this big luminova effect, the best readability you can get on the market. And we have the special patent to unlock and lock the two-way turning bezel.
Well, I like the tooth of the turning bezel too. It's very tactile.
It's really grippy.
Yeah.
It has to be used with gloves. It has, you know that the standard watches, it's always slippy.
Yes, they're hard
so
to
it's
turn.
not really precision, and I hate this. And I hate one direction bezels. No, not hate, but I do not like them because they're never there where they have to be.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to have a two direction bezel, but with a lock system.
Yeah, no, it's great.